We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, including the purports of Srila Baldev Vidyabhushan. Chapter number 1, Observing the Armies, text number 41. So, in the shlokas before, Arjuna had mentioned the problem of destroying the family, and that would have led to the destruction of family traditions, and that would have led to pollution of ladies of the family, and that would have led to uh, unwanted population, Varna Sankarah. So now he elaborates on this point why it is such a great sin. So we'll read this. Sankaro narakayeva kulagnanam kulasya cha patanti pitaro hi esham lupta pindo dakakriyah. One second. Yes. So he says that Sankaro Narakaeva Kulagnanam Kulasya. Sankara means these unwanted children. Srila Prabhupada is putting in the synonyms that these children who are useless, who have not been born as a result of proper sanskaras, they will cause those who have destroyed the kula, that means kulagnanam, those who have destroyed gnam means to destroy, kulagna means he is destroying, who has destroyed the family. So those who have destroyed the families, they will be brought into heaven, or naraka, that means hell. They will be forced to go into hell by these varnasankars. And kulasya cha, and those who have not caused the destruction, they will also be brought to hell by this Varana Sankara. I'll explain it again. Sankaro narakayeva kulagnanam kulasya. Eva means certainly. The word comes here, eva. So certainly this Varana Sankara population will lead their ancestors to hell, as well as those who have destroyed the ancestors to hell. For example, a person who does not observe Ekadashi, then their ancestors are also going to hell along with that person. So this is how it is all related. So I think this is very clear. And then now he is explaining why it is like this. Say patanti pitarohi esham lupta pindo daka kriyaha. Patanti pitaro. Pitara means the ancestors. Patanti, they are falling. He means certainly. Esham means, one second, Prabhupada says, of them. So Esham means, Esham, this word Esham is related to Sankaro. Esham, these people's ancestors. Esham means, Tesham means they, Esham means these. So these Shankaras, these unwanted children, the ancestors of these unwanted children, he certainly patanti, they are definitely falling into hell. Why? He says lupta pindo daka kriyaha. Lupta means lost, pind means oblations, and udaka means jal, water. The oblations of water, and kriya means action. The actions of offering water to the ancestors will be lost. Lupta means lost. So you understand the meaning of the words? Sankaro Narakayeva Kulagna Nam Kulasacha. That means those people who destroy these traditions, for them, just one second, I can see the devotees here also on my phone. This encourages me. Not that I'm giving class to somebody who's impersonal. Even we don't want the students to be impersonal. Yes. So, what I was saying, yes. So, are you able to understand the shloka, or is there any doubt in this? You are able to understand? Any unwanted children will cause those who have destroyed the ancestors to go into hell, and also destroyed in general in ancestors. Why? Because when the ancestors will leave their body, whatever the ancestors are, they will not perform pinda udaka kriya. Udaka means water, pinda means oblations, and kriya means action. I think this is very clear. Now you see how a devotee naturally delivers the ancestors. Did we not hear in the Kartik Mahatamya that if you offer a lamp to Krishna in the month of Kartik, the ancestors are praying, oh, maybe somebody is born within our family who will offer a lamp to Krishna, so that by the mercy of Chakrapani, that means Krishna who holds the chakra, we all will be delivered. So you see, even if a devotee externally may not do Pinda Udat Kriya, the ancestors are dancing in joy. At least one person has become a devotee of Krishna. When I'm saying person, you must understand it means Mataji and Prabhuji both. It is not referring only to Prabhuji. So like that. Like one devotee, one of our members, is somehow not coming now. His name is Manish and Mona Mataji. So Manish's father had just left his body, so he was a little upset. But Karthik was there, left. I said, what is the difficulty? I don't know whether you offered lamb to Krishna whole of Kartik. Just now you offer the lamb to Krishna, and your father will be automatically delivered. So he said, and then he gave me a message. Yes, yes, Prabhuji. In the evening, I offered the lamb. So you see, if you have proper knowledge, we can do the best Pindodaka Kriya, which is offering a lamb to Krishna. I mean, in Kartik and rendering devotional service in general. And that we have discussed also in Bhagavatam. विप्रादिशद गुण युताद अरविंद नाभा पादारविंद विमुखा स्वपच वरिष्ठम मन्ने तदर्पित मनोवचने हितार्थ pranam punati sakulam natu bhurimanah. A person who may be a brahmana, a proud brahmana, and decorated with the 12 qualities of a brahmana, but if he is not a devotee, he is not able to deliver himself. But if a person is manne tadarpito mano vachane hitartha, a person who has been born even as in a family of swapacha, dog eaters, yes, he is superior to that brahmana if he is offering his body, mind and words to Krishna. Why like that? Because he will not only deliver himself, but he will deliver the whole family. Pranam punati sakulam natu bhurimanaha. So you understand the potency of serving Krishna by body, by mind and words. If a person is serving Krishna, then he is delivering himself as well as his ancestors. So this also we should understand, that even if we cannot do the details of the Pindataka Kriya, and we may have doubts as to the intention and qualification of the person who's doing that Kriya, but definitely simply by being a devotee, all the ancestors are delivered. Not only they are delivered, but they are actually dancing. A small point on this word Pind Udak Kriya. Srila Prabhupada has very nicely mentioned Pinda means offerings of food. So the offering of food which is done by the descendants here is received in a very great quantity by the ancestors in wherever they are, in whichever loka they are. Similarly, when the water is offered to the ancestors here, it is in a very large quantity, an amazing quantity received by them. Otherwise, they remain hungry. Prabhuji, if here, now somebody will give wrong logic. Here, if I want chapati and puri, and if you give me water, will I receive chapati and puri? What kind of logic is this? What are you speaking? This is not acceptable by me. But you have to understand, in this world also here, Param Puja Radha Govind Maharaj explains very nicely. When you book your ticket in Rajdhani or in airplane, so you are not carrying anything here. But if you have paid the price here, the transaction has been made, then you receive nice food there. And depending on what you have paid, you get the food there. So there is an arrangement by the airport authorities also, or by the people who are running the train. Then what is the difficulty in, are you able to hear me? Says Hare Krishna. Yeah. So what is the difficulty in accepting that there is a system and arrangement by the superior arrangement of the Supreme Lord? So there is no problem. So here we accept the version of the Shastra. Like a person who will say, how I am submitting money here, how will I get food there? I am giving money here, I am not getting food here, I am not giving food here, how will I receive food even in the airplane? Not in the airport, sorry, did I speak airport? No. Airplane, why? How will I receive food in the airplane? That doesn't work. What is this? 1 second, sorry. Yes. So, this is quite clear. So there's a system is by the universal government of the Lord, which is there, and that way a person is getting the share. Translation. An increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life both for the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. the ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performance for offering them food and water are entirely stopped. So I think this is very clear now. Gita Bhushan commentary. The mixture of caste in the family leads to hell for those who destroy the family and its traditions. One question you must raise here, why these Varun Sankars will stop offering of food and water? It's just such a simple thing, is it not? It's not that every day one has to do. Normally in a Pitri Paksha, within 15 days, is it not? They are doing it. What is the difficulty? Well, it's simple, because they are not trained, they do not first of all know how to do it, and they do not have faith in the whole process. See, just like the devotees here have offered the lamb to Krishna for their bhakti also, and because they have faith in the process of bhakti, they are doing it. That definitely the action will give you result, but if there is no faith, a person will not do that action. It makes sense to you. So the Varna Shankar people who are not trained in with proper education and culture, they will not have the faith in doing those things, and they will not maintain the traditions. Okay. Not only do they go to hell, but because of this, he indicates a reason, the ancestors of the family also fall to hell because of being deprived of the pinda offering from lakhs of sons who are qualified givers of pinda. Now is it clear? It's very clearly mentioned in the commentary that yes, so those who destroy the traditions of the family, Kulagnanam, they will be led to hell by this Varana Sankar, and those who have not destroyed but they are previous to that destruction, Pitras, just like for example, in the war of Mahabharat, did Shantanu Maharaj participate? Shantanu Maharaj was the father of Bhishma Pitama. Don't you know about this? Shantanu Maharaj had left his body much before the battle of Mahabharat. There is no question of his fighting the battle of Mahabharat. But now he is a Pitara of the Kauravas. So if this would have, I'm saying if because this has not happened after the war of Mahabharat, but if Varana Sankara would have been populated and they would have not offered Pinda Udaka, then Pinda Udaka means food and water, then that would have influenced the Pitaras like what is the name I said? Shantanu Maharaj, who have nothing, who are not involved in destroying the family and family traditions. Is that point clear? Now the question is the offering of lamb equal to same as equivalent offering of food and water, or do we need to do it separately? See, you have to understand, it's a very good question. You have to see that ki bhakti, when we do bhakti, nothing compares to bhakti. Even one offering of lamb of to Krishna in Kartik, nothing compares to it. Have you not heard this? We have heard it quite clearly. So even if we are not able to do this food and water thing separately, you offer a lamb to Krishna. Just now I mentioned, yes, simply by your surrender to Krishna, by your serving Krishna, everybody else get delivered. Your tilak is very nice, Milind Prabhu. I cannot put such nice tilak. Some devotees really put very nice tilak. If you want to have a habit of doing nice makeup, so makeup, this devotee makeup is good. It's interesting that as a little drift on this point, one person has joined here in our ashram here, Vanaprastha, but just nothing he knows about bhakti. But when he has put tilak, immediately I feel, oh, he's a devotee. I mean, he's doing devotional service, he's a complete new person. But just that tilak itself makes me have a feeling, oh, he's a devotee, like this. Even one time when we went to a program and everybody was put tilak, so I felt they were regular devotees. They were not even chanting one round of Hare Krishna mantra. But that's what we feel happy to see devotees with tilak. Okay, so we'll continue with that discussion. So you understood this point. Never think that any of this Shraddha ceremonies or anything, they are even coming close to what devotional service is, what chanting Hare Krishna is. It's a very nice point which Milind Prabhu has raised here. You see, what is in pure devotional service, our pure devotional service is hampered if we think that by performing Shraddha, I will improve my bhakti, okay? Or by not performing Shraddha, I'll get sin. You must understand. But a devotee can perform Shraddha, just to set an example for outside people that those who are not bhaktas, they are supposed to do. So this is a general thing which is mentioned here, and definitely in a Pinda Udaka Kriya, Lord Vishnu is worshipped. So very simple way is, food is offered to Krishna, and then the food is given to Brahmana and Vaishnavas. In that way, very simply, we can offer this Pinda Udaka Kriya. That's what I've heard from devotees. I have never done this, but I've heard from devotees. Also, by virtue of being in Brahmachari ashram, I don't have to do that. But I'm just saying that if a person is worshipping Krishna, then automatically all his ancestors are delivered. In one of the chapters of Bhagavatam, you will hear that when somebody reads this section of Bhagavatam, his ancestors are dancing. Oh, very nice, he's reading Bhagavatam, like that. I believe it is in Diti's Pum Savan Vrata. In the last class it is mentioned, a person who reads this chapter section of Bhagavatam, Pumsavan Vrata, his ancestors are dancing. So we don't need to do anything separately. There is nothing equal to devotional service. Purport of Srila Prabhupada. According to the rules and regulations of fruitive activities, that means Karmakanda, there is a need to offer periodical food and water to the forefathers of the family. Now you must understand this point, fruitive activities. Very clearly, Prabhupada will explain what does it mean. Fruitive activities means those who are following the path of Karma Kanda, not necessarily for those who are devotees. This offering is performed by worship of Vishnu, because eating the remnants of food offered to Vishnu can deliver one from all kinds of sinful actions. Now, every day we are eating prasadam of Krishna, is it not? So it's not that only on Pitrupaksh we will offer food to Krishna. Every day we are doing it. So like that. So naturally, the piety of the descendant gets shared with the piety of the shared to the piety of the ancestors. Nothing difficult to understand. Sometimes the forefathers may be suffering from various types of sinful reactions, and sometimes some of them cannot even acquire a gross material body and are forced to remain in subtle bodies as ghosts. You will see, if I did not get an opportunity, but if you must have heard this, the story of Dhundakari and Gokarna. Dhundakari was a brother of Gokarna. Gokarna was a great devotee of Lord Krishna. So he became a ghost because of his sinful activities. So then Gokarna made him hear Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days, and then he got delivered and went back home, back to Godhead. So we have evidence that nothing needs to be done separately, but directly by serving Krishna. Yes. So I give an example of Dhundukari and Gokarna and how he was delivered simply by recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay. So this is very clear. Thus, when remnants of prasadam food are offered to forefathers by descendants, the forefathers are released from ghostly or other kinds of miserable life. Such help. So this we have understood. First, the food is offered to Krishna, then the prasadam is offered to the forefathers, and there is a whole process. I do not know exactly how that is done. I do not know because I have never done this. I am simply convinced by Srila Prabhupada's statement that and from Bhagavatam, simply by rendering service to Krishna, they are all delivered. But there must be a process. I think in Gaya it is done like that, and ISKCON also some devotees might know how to do it. Details I don't know, but there is a principle mentioned here. Such help rendered to forefathers is the family traditions and those who are not in devotional life. Now it is clear? Those who are not in devotional life, जो भक्ति नहीं कर रहे हैं, those who are not doing bhakti, are required to perform such rituals. So any doubt? Now I think there should not be any doubt. If a person is actually rendering devotional service to Krishna, chant Hare Krishna nicely, read Bhagavatam, take prasadam, they are automatically delivered. One who is engaged in the devotional life is not required to perform such actions. Clear? Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. Now it is interesting, again coming back to Kartik, the point of Kartik. The forefathers are praying that somebody may be born in our family and he will offer a lamb to Krishna so that we all may be delivered. Now it is not mentioned there how many forefathers. This is quite interesting. It's not that the father is saying or the grandfather is saying or the great grandfather is saying. all kinds of how to say, all kinds of forefathers who may exist, they are praying. If somebody offers a lamb to Krishna, then we will all be delivered. And again I'm repeating, maybe as we hear, maybe just like we read in the commentary, that the pinda udaka kriya can only be done by son, fine, but lamp offering can be done by Mataji also, that means daughter also and son also, is it not? So you see, this we should be convinced when we are doing devotional service. Even if our forefathers, that means our mother and father, may say, "Arey, why are you doing devotional service?" Then you should say, "For you I am doing devotional service, so that you will be delivered. You will not do anyhow bhakti. You are such a sinful person." You don't say like this, but my dear Mataji and Prabhu, Mataji means mother. Maybe in this life you don't want to do devotional service, and Dadi did not do any devotional service. Then how? I must do something so to deliver them. Just like you remember, what is his name? Will come that who brought Gangaji here, Bhagirath. By the austerities of Bhagirath, all his previous forefathers were delivered. Is it not? So be convinced about it that you are doing the highest welfare work for all your previous people. Even those who are going to come, they will also be delivered. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, 21 generation behind, 21 generation in the forward, everybody will be delivered. So like this. Question: what if the ancestors get a birth in this material world as a human? All of them. What is the difficulty? See, again, you say, if you give a proper price, the person will get food in, let's say, Indian Airlines. But what if he is in American Airlines? So answer is very simple. Whether it's in Indian Airlines, whether it's American Airlines, the airlines will make sure that he gets food. So wherever they are, they will be benefited. Make sense to you? So this is I think you must be convinced now to render devotional service. By we are delivering them from all kinds of misery. Now, not exactly we are delivering them, but Krishna delivers, because the Lord is very eager to reciprocate with any kind of service which has been rendered to him. So anybody who's connected to any of his servants who are serving him in this life, they all get the share. Just like when Dhruv Maharaj went back to Godhead, then his mother also went back to Godhead, because she had supported him or guided him in the search of God. She gave the instruction, you please go to forest and do austerities for Krishna or Vishnu. Now Prabhupada gives a beautiful shloka. It is stated in the Bhagavatam 11.5.41. You should try to remember this. Prabhuji, how much I should try to remember? You just said Atra Sarga Visarga, you have to remember. Janmadhyasya, you have to remember. And then this shloka also you have to remember. So that you will forget everything else. That's what we are supposed to do. Forget everything else and remember Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, like this. And those things should only go in our mind. So now I'm bringing out to you in front of you. I'm chanting. You can chant with me or after me as per your discretion. But try to learn this. Devarshi bhutapta nirnam pitrinam naking karo nayam rini charajan sarvatmanah sharanam sharanyam gato mukundam parihritya kartam. Deva means demigods. Rishi means Rishi like Vyasadeva and others rishis. Bhuta means in general living entities. Apta I'm not able to understand. Nirnam, immediately I'm not able to understand. I did not prepare for it. Nirnam means in general who people are there. Now Bhuta means the living entities. Let me just open the Veda base and then speak from there. That is much better. I would like to explain it with word meanings. So this is a beautiful shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, which describes how a devotee is delivered by all kinds of obligations in this world simply by his surrender to Krishna. Now the shloka is 11.5.41. Yes. Now I have the word meanings also. Bhuta means ordinary living entity and Apta means friends and relatives. So you see, all these people have helped us or helping us in some way. So we have an obligation or duty towards them. Nirnam means ordinary men. So what is the difference between Bhuta and Nirnam? Bhuta means cows or other animals which serve us or give us, just like cows give us milk. So now we are obliged to them. Okay, is able to understand? Are you able to understand the meaning of Bhuta and Nirnam? Nirnam means ordinary men, that means human beings who give us service. And Bhuta means ordinary living entities like cows and other animals or even trees who give us also something in our life. Pitranam is very clear. Pitranam means forefathers. Na kinkaraha na ayam rini. A person who is a servant of Krishna, he is not rini. Rini is debtor, who has a debt of for any of these people. O Rajan, but what is the quality of the servant? Sarvatmanah yah sharanam sharanyam. That who has taken sarvatmana by body, mind and words, he takes full shelter of Krishna, who is Sharanya, who is able to give shelter to a person who seeks shelter. Very nicely. Gato mukundam parihritya kartam. Gata means, gata you understand, to go. So that person has gone to Mukunda. Mukunda means very interesting. The Mukunda means who's a giver of liberation. So now that word Mukunda is used here in the sense that because he has taken shelter of Mukunda, Lord Mukunda, who gives liberation to his servants, he liberates him from all kinds of duties to or obligations to any other living entity whom what a person might have otherwise. Parihritya kartam, giving up other duties. I will say again now this shloka, beautiful. देवर्षि भूताप्त नृणाम पितृणाम न किंकरो नायम नृणी च राजन सर्वात्मनः यः शरणं शरण्यं गतो मुकुंदम परिहृत्य कर्तम. Why I am smiling and laughing? You see, I knew this shloka before, but certain words I did not notice. Now, for teaching you devotees, I had to again notice what are the meaning of the words. Again, I'll explain. What kind of people are serving us? Devas, that means the demigods. Rishis, by giving us various literatures like Vyasadeva, etc. Bhuta means animals like cows, etc., who give us milk. Apta means friends and relatives. Nirnam means in general human beings who may not be our relatives. Apta will include mother, father, like that. Pitranam means who are deceased means who have died, but they are pitras, means ancestors whose property we are using, like that. All those things. Then na kinkaro means a person is not supposed to serve them. Na ayam rini, neither he is a debtor. If he is not serving them, then he might be a debtor. But he said neither he is supposed to serve them, neither he is supposed to be, how to say, neither he is supposed to be, he is a debtor to these people. Cha means and Rajan means O king. So O king, a person is not supposed to serve the demigods, the rishis, the general living entities, friends and relative. Nirnam means human beings in general and ancestors. If Sarvatmanaha yaha sharanam sharanyam. Sarvatmana means with body, mind and words. Atma means body, mind and words. So by body, mind and word, by all his world, by all his actions, by all his mind's thoughts, yah sharanam sharanyam. He takes shelter of a person, Krishna, who is Sharanya. Sharanya means who has the ability to give shelter. And Gato Mukundam, and how he should go? He should take shelter? Then he says Gato Mukundam Parihritya Kartum. Parihritya means giving up. Kartu means giving up all his duties. All other duties is only way he has done, only duty what he is performing is Mukundam. He's going to Mukunda. He's approaching the lotus feet of Mukunda. And I've explained the meaning of the word Mukunda as Mukunda means who gives liberation. So this is the word used here because he gives liberation to his devotee from performing all these kind of activities and duties. Are you able to understand, or am I speaking like two difficult things? I think you're able to understand. I just read the translation now. Anyone, Mataji, Prabhuji, any ji, for anyone who has taken shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, the giver of liberation. You see, Prabhupada puts it here. Giving up all kinds of obligation and has taken to the path in all seriousness, owes neither duties nor obligations to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled by performance of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, I shall stop here because we have 10 minutes, and I would obviously like to tell you something interesting. How we learn in Vedic system, how do we learn? So the way we learn in a Vedic system is not simply the teacher has told something and then we forget about it, or we just write an exam. We have to do mananam, nidadhyasanam, like that, and smaranam. So we have to remember, we should do meditation, we should absorb on it. What did Prabhuji tell? What does shloka mean? What does it mean? How can I surrender to Krishna? Like this shloka, how can I apply in my life? All those things have to be understood, and then we will be able to properly understand each of the shlokas of Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. Now again I'll repeat the shlokas in terms of summarizing it, that those people who are Varnasankars, they will cause those who have destroyed the family to go to hell, as well as those who are ancestors to go to hell. Why? Because they will not perform the offering of food and water to them. But we have also learned a person, this is for general consideration, but those who perform devotional service to Krishna, they need not perform these things. When I am saying need not, it means sometimes a devotee may perform just to teach the common people, but it does not mean that he has a basic need or general need to do those things. Because, and Prabhupada has given this shloka here, quoting 11.5.41, that a person who takes shelter of Krishna, Mukunda, who is a giver of liberation, he is freed from all kind of obligation to all the anybody in this material world. So okay, now okay, I'll just one second, give me a second. So I'll again ask, I'll allow devotees to say something if they want to say, or otherwise I'll ask the question as I'm doing every day, because nobody has nothing to say. Everybody is just completely satisfied. Atma Rama, Prabhuji, you have covered. I can understand the shloka. The shloka is clear like a sun, but your explanations are like darkness. Their explanations are like cloud. So it is covering everything. But anyways, I'll record it now and ask devotees if they have something to say via chat or by speech, whatever. Yes, devotees, I will, if you have nothing to ask, then I'll ask you some questions. Yes, somebody has some. Yes, Aditya Mataji, please. You want to say something? Oh, then I'll say something. So, okay, again I'll meet. What are the lessons you have learned from the shloka only? Not from the purport, only the shloka. What are the lessons? What is the objection or what is the fear of Arjuna? Yes, you want to say, Aditya Mataji? Yes. Yes, please.
The thing is that if the lesson that we have learned is that we can, the population should, everyone should worship Lord, so that by worshipping Lord, one can free their ancestors from hellish life.
Answer is correct, but it is not the answer to the question. The question is, if, let me just help you. If you just see the shloka, what does Arjuna, what is the reason Arjuna is meditating upon why they should not fight? Is nothing to do with devotional service right now here. It is not, doesn't mention about devotional service here, so to speak. So what is Arjuna's fear about this? So what is, yes.
And sisters will go to the hellish planets.
Yes. So offering of food and water will be stopped. This is what we learned from the shloka. Very good. You can also answer by chat. Anuradha Mataji does not want to speak. Yeah. Maybe she's too shy to speak. Okay. Anyways, no problem. See, now when I'm asking you a question, you are forced to remember. Is it not? This is what you're supposed to do. Okay. Now, based on the purport, and I'll show you the shloka. Now I think this is the answer. So I am asking question based on the answer of Richa Mataji. So she gives the answer and I will frame the question as per the answer given. You know, that's quite good. You know, if in exam you write an answer and then as per your answer, the teacher will raise the question and say 100 marks. This is perfect answer. This is perfect question to the perfect answer. But no problem. So now as per the purport, Srila Prabhupada has explained that definitely they will go to hell because they might have committed some sins, and that is not nullified in their life, but the people who are coming descendants, if they are very pious, then they will deliver them. Now, this is for karmakandi people, but does it apply to devotees? This Pandaka Kriya? No. So what does this shloka says that we may not be able to understand the whole meaning, but what is the gist of the shloka? What is prescribed for devotees? What is prescribed for devotees to be done? If they are not supposed to do shradha and all that, then what they are supposed to do and why?
To render
Okay, one second. Not congregational chanting. Yes, okay.
to render the service unto the lotus feet of Lord.
Not only service but the devotional service. You see, I can render some service to in temple but get paid for it. That is not devotional service. Very nicely put by Radha Govind Maharaj, that in Vrindavan a rickshaw wala does lot of service, but he sells his service for 20 rupees. So we are not here to sell a service. Devotional service means done out of love, not for money or anything, or even for material rewards. We don't want that. So a devotee is rendering devotional service to Krishna. Then what does happen? I forgot what I said. So can you help me out?
He will get free from all the obligations and debts which he has to demigods and sages, his family members, his ancestors.
Very good. And I have one very nice example I want to say. I had 2 lakh rupee loans on myself when I was working in NTPC, and that belonged to my granny actually, but I thought it belonged to my uncle. So I asked my uncle, I want to join the ashram tomorrow. Tomorrow means actually tomorrow. I'm going to run from here. So now, if I have to pay you 2 lakh rupees, I have to serve here 6 months more. So now I was owing to him. He's a gentleman, he's a devotee. So he said, no, you don't need to waste the time here. Just go and join. Now, it's not that money was not given to the uncle. The money was given to the uncle by my mother and father. Make sense? You will understand very clearly. You will understand. So now, if a devotee is serving Krishna, he is freed from the obligation of serving the ancestors. Are you able to hear me? Yeah, okay. But it's not that the ancestors will not get anything. Our father will pay. You understand? Just like here we say, oh, Baba, I want this. Yes, I will pay. Don't worry. I want this. No problem. Yeah, I'll pay. So Krishna will pay. So it's very nice mentioned in Bhakti Sandarbha. If one person becomes a sannyasi or surrenders to Krishna fully, then there are 30 crore, I mean, so many other demigods and rishis are engaged in tending to the needs of his family like that. So okay, I remember, they always laugh. When I was coming to join here, my mother was crying. Oh, your father will leave the body and I will become a beggar. Like Hindi mein kehte senti marte. So I'll become a beggar and this. Now she is giving 10,000 rupees donation every month to temple and serving in temple. And also giving all those things. Krishna made all the arrangements. My father left the body, but he made all the arrangements so that he can be very happily situated. So I said, are you begging or giving? Yes, I'm not begging. So it's not like that a devotee surrenders to Krishna, then Krishna will just not take care of his father and mother. It's not like that. And even if they leave the body, they also will be delivered. I'm giving practical from my example. I am not a devotee, I'm only trying to be devotee. But my father left the body in Noida, not in Lucknow. So that he was brought here in Vrindavan very easily, and we cremated him in Kartik. And after the cremation, all the family members offered lamb to Krishna. Make sure he goes back to Godhead. And so you see, it's amazing. I told you about my granny. You remember this? Later on, after 10-12 years, I came to know that 2 lakh rupees belonged to my granny, my nani. And she traveled 8 hours and left her body in Vrindavan. So you see, I'm so much convinced by my service to Krishna, not only I will be delivered, but so many of my ancestors will be delivered. So the same thing applies to you. It's not necessarily that everybody has to be brahmachari or something like that. But by body, mind and words, serve Krishna. I give a simple example, just like Juhi Mataji is helping us with the designing of the photos. That will attract people to, at least in the face, oh, there's something is attractive, let me hear this Bhagavad Gita. Then Richa Mata is thinking of translation, and other devotees also here participating. This lecture will help a person But I cannot hold this lecture if you people are not here, or if everybody switches off the video and does all his things, then I won't be inspired to speak, is it not? So all of us are getting the benefit of this devotional service of discussion of Bhagavad Gita. No voice? One second. It's coming? Okay. Okay, now let me just see what are the chats. Okay. So now, so with this, we should be convinced that by rendering our devotional service to Krishna very nicely, all our four fathers will be delivered. So we'll end here now. If any other questions or comments? No. So we'll now end the class here.